I am continuing my reading, and what I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along, but right now I am still in the book of 2 Samuel. Last video I began reading in chapter 19. This video will finish out this chapter. Now, Absalom is dead. There was some contention over whether or not the rebellion that he led would break apart or if they would continue fighting. But David has, everybody's been convinced to bring him back and reinstate him as king over all Israel. So we continue this winding up of the rebellion. Let's just pick this up in verse 24. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes from the day the king departed until the day he came again in peace. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king, my servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon, and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he hath slandered thy servant unto my lord the king. But my lord the king is as an angel of God. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table. What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, Thou and Ziba divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take all, for as much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto his own house. So remember now, when David fled, Ziba, now let's go back a little bit. Shortly after David was king, he wanted to do something to honor the house of Saul, and he found Mephibosheth, who is the son of Jonathan, so the grandson of Saul. And he restored to Mephibosheth all the land of Saul and made Mephibosheth a part of his family, part of his court. Now, when he fled Jerusalem, Ziba was the servant of Mephibosheth. He had been a servant of Saul, and he is now given to Mephibosheth as a servant to oversee the running of the land, the operation of the farmlands. When David flees Jerusalem, Ziba comes to join him and tells him that Mephibosheth is planning kind of a secondary conspiracy, saying, David and Absalom are now at war, the people will turn to me as the rightful heir of Saul to restore the kingdom. That's what Ziba told David. And so David told Ziba he would have all the land of Mephibosheth. He would give him all of Mephibosheth's land. Now that David's coming back to Jerusalem, Mephibosheth is there to meet him at the gate. And David's saying, Why didn't you come join me? When we all fled Jerusalem, why weren't you with us? And Mephibosheth said, Well, I told Ziba to tell you that I couldn't come because my feet. Remember, Mephibosheth, both of his feet are lame. He can't walk. So I told Ziba to tell you that I wanted to go with you, but I couldn't because my condition, I just couldn't manage the trip. Ziba was supposed to come and tell you, but he told you some lies. I've never been against you. You're a great man. Because of you, I have all this stuff. I've been elevated in the kingdom. Why would I turn against you? But again, we see a slight, I don't know why this is, but David says, I promised Ziba that you and him would divide the land. What he says, I promised Ziba that I'd give him all your land. I can't go back on that promise. But you're right, you aren't against me, so let's just divide the land. Instead of giving him all the land, we'll give him half. That'll satisfy my promise to him. And leave you with half, and that'll satisfy my promise to you. I think David is a little bit wrong on this too, but at the same time, I think he's trying to avoid further conflict. He's really just trying to make peace with everybody, and it's not going to work. But I love Mephibosheth's answer. Let Ziba have it all. I don't care about the land. You're safe. I'm happy. We're good. I like that. Let us continue, though. Verse 31. And Barzillai, the Gileadite, came down from Regolim and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king of sustenance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. So 80, that's 80 years old. So he's about probably 15 years older than David. Verse 33. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old. And can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat, or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and my mother. But behold, thy servant Kimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Kimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Then the king went on to Gilgal, and Kimham went on with him. And all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. Now, I don't know why the mention of Barzillai is only here. We aren't told about him anywhere else. It says he was a very great man, but he was 80 years old. His description, he can't taste food or drink. He can barely hear, so he can't enjoy the entertainment of a feast. So let me just go back. I'm going to die soon anyways. Let me die in my own home. But if you want to do something for me, take my servant and bring him into your court. Make him somebody. Do to him everything you would do to me. Everything you would do for me, do for him. And David agrees. And I like that. But then we have this. All the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. So they're leading the king back over Jordan. So I guess Mephibosheth doesn't meet him in Jerusalem. He finally comes out of Jerusalem to meet him on the way back. But they're coming over Jordan. All of Judah is there, and half the rest of the other tribes. Keep that in mind a minute. Let us continue this. Verse 41. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king and said unto the king, Why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household, and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us. Wherefore then be ye angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all of the king's coast? Or hath he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, We have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. So what we're seeing here is a beginning, or the foreshadowing of the division of the kingdom. And I actually agree with Israel here, that David is made king of all Israel. He may be from the tribe of Judah, but that doesn't mean Judah should have special privileges. And that's what Judah is saying, oh, we get to conduct the king because we're Judah. He's Judah, we're Judah. We have a more claim of him as our king than you do. And Israel's saying, wait a minute. All the rest of the tribes, he's supposed to be king over all of us. And there's 10 tribes here, and you're only 2 tribes. Why would you have a greater claim to him than we do? And we see this strife here that will eventually lead to a division of the kingdom. But sometimes sometimes. Well, I'll talk about that in a separate video. Anyways, David is now reinstated as king. He has made a few more political blunders. Appointed Amasa king. Not king. He appointed Amasa captain of the host. He does not punish Ziba for his fraud. But for now, peace is restored. Oh, and his third blunder was letting Judah be the main escort and only having half of Israel with him. So we've got several political blunders being made by David at this time. But peace, at least for now, is restored. And we will pick this up in chapter 20.